We officially, Bob, we have 25. I know you're counting back there. All right, good. We have a quorum. All right. Everybody please rise for a salute to our flag, and please remain standing for a moment of silence for our departed members and all of our armed forces that are out there right now as we speak, keeping us safe. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. We have a vote today about reducing our quorum because we just made it today. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time to come out here on a beautiful October day. We'll get you out shortly so you can enjoy the football games and later on Mets baseball for all you Met fans out there. I know there's a few of us. So anyway, roll call of officers. Kevin McCaffrey, President, is here. Secretary Treasurer Chuck White.
Present.
Vice President John Zappoli.
Here.
Recording Secretary Laura Campione.
Here.
Trustee Charlton Paul.
Here.
Trustee Anthony Braunstein.
Here.
And Trustee Jose Marino.
Here.
Okay, everybody is here. I'm going to call on Recording Secretary Laura Campione to read the minutes of the meeting of July 21st, 2024.
Good morning. Reading of the minutes for general membership meeting, Teamsters Local 707, July 21st, 2024. President McCaffrey called the meeting to order at 10:50 a.m. There was a pledge of allegiance followed by a moment of silence for all brave men and women of the armed forces who sacrificed to protect our freedom. There was a roll call of officers. All were present. President McCaffrey called on Recording Secretary Campione to read the minutes for April 2024 general membership meeting. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to accept the minutes as read. The motion was made by Brother Pizzuto and Brother Cisco. Motion passed unanimously. Financial report. President McCaffrey called on Secretary Treasurer Chuck White to read the financial report. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to read the summary of the financial reports for the months of April, May, and June 2024. A motion was made by Brother Pizzuto and seconded by Brother Cisco. Motion was approved. Secretary Treasurer Chuck White read the financial reports for the months of April, May, and June 2024. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to accept the financial report as read. A motion was made by Brother Pizzuto and seconded by Brother Cisco. Motion passed unanimously. Trustees' declaration. President McCaffrey called on Trustee Paul to give the trustees' declaration. Trustee Paul reported that the trustees of Local 707 Executive Board have examined the books and records for the local union for the months of January through June 2024 and have found them to be recorded correctly and the bank balances verified. Unfinished business, YRC Freight bankruptcy. The liquidation of Yellow's asset continues. The IBT is pursuing the claims for employees for WARN Act violations, earned vacation, sick, and personal day claims. Future financial considerations. The loss of Yellow and the associated loss in dues and initiation fees is having a financial impact on Local 707. The retirement of Secretary Treasurer Pacheco reduced expenses significantly. A primary analysis of our finances indicates Local 707 can continue to operate as an independent entity. The local executive board is committed to do whatever is necessary to make sure Local 707 stays in place for many years to come. Organizing. To ensure Local 707's long-term viability, we need your help in finding new members through organizing. The current organizing focus of the IBT is on trucking companies with less than 100 workers. If you're aware of any of these locations or have contact with these workers, contact your business agent. Amendment to Local 707 bylaws. By resolution of the Local 707 Executive Board, the following bylaw amendment is submitted to be voted on two consecutive meetings prior to taking a vote. Amend Article 15, Section 2 to require 15 members shall constitute a quorum. New business. Contracts recently ratified, none. Contracts being negotiated, DeCarlo and Aramark. T-Force contract books. Contracts were distributed on the sites. Please see your shop steward if you have not received your book. ABF contract books. The books are at the printer with delivery shortly. All contracts available online at teamsters.org/freight division and at www.ibt707.com. IBT Presidential Straw Poll. Local 707 conducted its straw poll at our April general membership meeting. A majority supported Donald Trump for IBT endorsement. The results are as follows: Trump 16, Biden 9, RFK 1, undecided 3, no endorsement 1. The IBT decided the sample size of the straw polls was too small to judge the opinions of the membership. There is a plan to send out additional poll opportunities in the next Teamster magazine. The IBT announced that the General President O'Brien would speak at the RNC convention in July 2024. Good and welfare. Miller and Caggiano update. Zach Catan and Mike Walker of Miller and Caggiano Workers' Comp attorneys gave the update to the membership. President McCaffrey thanked them for sponsorship of the membership luncheon held directly after the meeting. Scholarships. Local 707 scholarships still has a few computer gift cards available, as not all were given out. If anyone knows of a members who's graduated high school this year, they can still be eligible. Local 707 Scholarship Fund Golf Outing. The golf outing was held on June 10th and was a great success. President McCaffrey thanked all who made possible. Welfare reminders, electronic EOBs. Sign up is available at www.roadcarriers707.com. Go into login, hit agree to terms of use, select view pension statement, and put in your retirement date. President McCaffrey reminding the members that only medical and hospital goes through BCBS, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Medical issues for eyes, ophthalmology is Blue Cross Blue Shield. Optical, like glasses, Davis Vision, and DDS members, Social Security, and patient's birthday. Notify the fund office of a divorce or pending divorce. The member is responsible if a former spouse continues to use medical benefits after the divorce is final. New website and app. Trustee John Sapoli informed, I wrote trustee, that's not correct. I have to change that to vice president. Okay. Vice President John Sapoli informed the membership since the app never caught on, we'll be trying for a bigger social media presence with Facebook and direct more members to our website. Recognition of veterans. As always, we recognize our veterans and have pins available at this meeting. Pension updates. The pension fund sent out the legally required notice, which was written in legalese, which led to people to believe the pension fund was only 1.5% funded, as the SFA assets were not permitted to be used in the calculations for the purposes of the notice. The next paragraph shows our funding levels with the SFA assets showing 115.4% funding level. The pension benefit estimates are also available by logging on and selecting View Pension Statement and putting in your proposed retirement date. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. A motion by Brother Cisco and seconded by Brother Pizzuto. The meeting was adjourned at 11:35 a.m. Respectfully, Laura Campione.
Thank you, Laura. Any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion. All in favor? Motion and second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. The minutes of September 21st are accepted. Next is the financial report. I'm going to call on Secretary Treasurer Chuck White to read the financial report for the months of July, August, and September 2024. Is there a motion to read that summary? Mike, second. All in favor? Anthony, all opposed? Okay, Chuck, give us the summary for the months of July, August, September 2024.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, financial report. Membership dues, $196,658.53. Initiation and reinitiation, $21,797.62. Withdrawals and transfers, $1. Assessments and fines, $7,917.85. Other income, $15,791.76. Total comes out to $242,166.76. Expenses, salaries, $62,732.96. expense allowance, $3,690. Per capita tax, $57,979.03. Contributions, $550. Benefits paid, $38,347.20. Office administration, $21,383.64. Legal fees, $15,000. Arbitration fees, $712.50. Other professional fees, $16,400. Taxes, $5,203.58. Meeting and expense, $786.07. Auto expense, $3,416.19. Out-of-town travel, $3,820. Other expenses, $33,975.58. Total expenses, $271,997. Brings us a net income of minus $29,830. That minus is because we're still paying that withdrawal liability. We paid the last month in August, so hopefully we start to get into the positive numbers. Any questions? Okay.
All right. And just to add to that, that was for the withdrawal liability. Anyone that is familiar with it, if an employee were to leave Local 707 and they said, we want to get out of your pension plan, they're responsible for the underfunded portion of that pension plan. So John Zapoli Senior, I really don't want to say, because John Zapoli, who we know as the senior, is actually a junior, and John Zapoli over here is a third, but the older John Zapoli was actually a member of Local 707, but his pension and welfare was with 641 because he moved on a change of operations from Elizabeth, New Jersey to Maybrook. And so anyway, we signed a participation agreement which allowed for him to stay in that pension fund the same way you would stay in your pension fund if you were to move on a change of operations. And so when John retired, it created withdrawal because he was our only employee in that fund. And because of that, they had to calculate withdrawal liability, which is substantial because the underfunding at Local 641 was similar to ours. And so we worked out a reduced fee, which we were able to negotiate with the trustees of the fund, but we had to pay it over a 6-month period. Just at the time that we lost all the yellow people, but we figured out a way to do it. I was moving things around, deferred salaries for the trustees, but we figure we're going to be in a good place going forward to have positive cash flow. So with that, motion to approve the financial reports for the months of July, August, September. Ike, Anthony, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, financial report is approved. Next, to read the trustee declaration for the months of July, August, and September of 2024 is trustee Charlton Paul.
Good morning, everybody. Trustees of Local 707 Executive Board has examined the books and records for the months of July, August, and September and found them to be recorded correctly and the bank balance is verified.
Good. Thank you, Charlton. Next, we're going to have a new member seminar after the meeting if needed. Is there any new members here today? Yes, Jason. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Jason was a new member. He's a returning member. So I think we can have Jason skip that because he's already been through the seminar.
Actually, he wasn't. We were grandfathered in. We should make him do it.
Is he paying a new member fee?
If he's paying a new member fee, he'll attend the but he doesn't have to be sworn in because he was already sworn in as a new member. So, so he came over in the transfer. So anyway, we'll figure it out with Jason. Thanks for your input, Chris. I appreciate you complicating things as always. All right, organizing, as we said, it's very important to ensure the long-term viability of Local 707 is to continue to organize, especially in light of the fact that we lost so many members when YRC went out. So as you say, the IBT has had a focus on less than 100 people instead of going after, right now, instead of trying to, get at, all these big companies like A. Dewey Pyle and Old Dominion and things like that, take a bite at some of the smaller apples. So that's their focus right now as they're developing a plan for these larger companies. So we're going to have, I've asked the business agents to focus on that, and we're going to ask them to come up each, and they're going to be asked each meeting, so they can be more prepared each meeting and actually start seeing some results of their efforts. But as anyone knows, organizing is tough. We have to depend upon a lot of the leads we get from a lot of the members. One of the focuses that we have, and it's been very successful, is that in our medical plan, we've had a medical plan that we've done for many of our members who are under, not necessarily all the master freight guys, and T-Force, as you know, has the medical plan under the Team Care, which is administered by the Central States Welfare Fund. But we have a plan that many of specifically when Local 277 merged in with us, and their plan went defunct, came over, we developed a plan based on what their parameters were. And it's very cost effective for employees. And we've gone down, gives us the tool to be able to actually go to employers and say, look, we can probably provide medical care for your members, better medical care than you can get on the open market. And that's one of the sales things that we have when they sit there and say, hey, maybe it's not so bad having this union in here because they can provide better benefits. We recently had the Penske members that, they represent. You see Cardinal Health tractor trailers or straight trucks out there. They're delivering to hospitals and medical facilities. Those are actually our members, and they're based out of Montgomery, New York. And we have probably about 75 members thereabouts,
Yes.
Chuck, in a number? And so in this last contract negotiations, they were paying very high deductibles, and they weren't getting much care for it. And once they'd go in there, the network of doctors wasn't as good. They high deductibles, co-insurance, and it was expensive, the employee share of it. We were able to say, look, we have this plan that is much better level of benefits, dental, life insurance, vision, plus Blue Cross Blue Shield, and with a lot less co-insurance and co-pays that they're paying, and the employee cost share was less. So they got it, they saved money, the employer saved money. So when we're doing negotiations, we finalized that. They were doing negotiations later on with the facility, the Cardinal Health Penske facility in Bedford, Massachusetts. And in Bedford, they are represented by Local 25 in Boston. And so they called up, the business agent who I know called up and said, he goes, hey, they heard about this medical plan. We did a participation agreement with Local 25, so we are now providing the medical benefits to those members up in Boston as well, outside of Bedford, Massachusetts. So it has really worked. It has really been a cost savings. It's one of those things that we can go to people and say, look, how much are you paying for medical? We can do better. That can be one of the biggest drivers that we have, is to be able to reduce the amount of money that they're paying for medical, that the members are paying. We can offer better medical, and a lot of times you won't get that same sort of resistance you get from employers, because we can say, as I like to say, we're from the union, we're here to help. It doesn't always ring true to some people, but we think we can offer concrete benefits, and it's one of those things that people can relate to. So we're going to continue to use that as one of our selling points. And with that, I'm going to bring up Chuck White, talk about some of the things that he is doing, and John Zapoli, and the focus that he is going to start doing is people in the food service industry, some of the smaller food distributors out there, where we're going to need you guys to be able to help out those 10, 15, 25 shop people, and we're going to use our healthcare. So we're going to make sure we have all of our members armed and ready to go. When you see these people, say, here's a flyer, and we're going to give you the target names that we're going to give you. See these guys, stop them, and we're going to make sure that we get with all the shop stewards, make sure that our members have the flyers so they can give them to those people that we're going to be targeting. So with that, I'm going to bring up Secretary Treasurer Chuck White to talk about some of the things he's doing in his area.
Hello again. Okay, so originally I was chasing Medline. I think we talked with a bunch of guys about it. We had zero response from Medline, not one phone call. I shouldn't say not one. We had one guy, he was actually a Penske guy, and he tried to push the word over there. He actually got himself in trouble up there in the parking lot handing out stuff. Last check, he was still working there. So there was zero response from Medline. So we switched from Medline to another Penske job. It's actually in Rockland County, not far from where I live, and they haul Chrysler products. I chased one guy down and talked to him. He was from a different terminal. He told me that terminal was closing. So I've been watching what's going on. That terminal was supposed to close, and they were going to reopen at the old IBM facility in Fishkill. So a yellow city driver who lives over there, he checked it out for me, and he told me it doesn't look like that's going to open for a while. Apparently, it just opened, I think, 2 weeks ago. So I went back to the old Penske, the one in Rockland, to see what's going on there, and they still has all the equipment there. I've chased 2 drivers now. They must have been going on a freaking layover. I chased one guy. We were probably an hour and 15 minutes down 287. He wasn't stopping, so I couldn't chase him all night. Then the other guy, he went north. He was headed towards Binghamton. So my plan is I got chased off the property twice by security. Now they know my damn car, so I'm giving it a little bit of a break. I think I'm going to go over there with my personal truck. They won't recognize that because they have 2 parking lots. One, I get a really good view, but that says that's for employees only. The other one is for guests. So I went in this one to see what was going on, and sure enough, the security came. So twice I've been chased off the property, but I'm not giving up. I can stay off the property. I know their hours now. They come in like 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and they run all night, and they're back by 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's the new shift I'm gonna have to do. So I'm still chasing them. If any of you guys see any of them, please mention. Okay, so they're driving a truck that says Penske, and the trailer should be Chrysler. But there are some Penske trailers also, but it's hard to tell, but that's the Chrysler. The Chrysler trailers all have lift gates on it. Most of the Penske freight trucks don't have lift gates, except there's a few of them. But these all have very sophisticated lift gates because they take these cages of auto parts down. I actually drove for them before I started with Yellow. They bring these cages down, they wheel them into the dealer, and they take the old cages back. So that's kind of what they do. It's been there a long time. It's changed a couple different carriers. You know, it was Ryder when I was there. It was Black Horse Carriers. Now it's Penske, and it was somebody else at one time too.
We represented them under Global Logistics.
Global Logistics. So they're still there. So they told me they were closing, so they're still there. So I want to actually talk to a driver out of that facility. The last driver I talked to was out of a Jersey facility. So we're still chasing them. We're there on site. So any help, please reach out to me. And that's my wrap up for organizing. I'm still chasing the trucks.
Johnny?
Good morning, everyone. All right, so like Kevin pretty much said a lot, what we were trying to do in my area was going after the food services, even ambulance, even Penske in Brooklyn, because we do, the Penske we have through Cardinal Health, and we're hearing that there might be in Long Island too somewhere, so we're trying to figure that out. But there's no, in Long Island, we don't have like what we have upstate, where you got like a nice, truck stop to go sit at and try grabbing people. So, like with your help, if you know any spots that you see a lot of these, food services, like Ferraro Foods and stuff like that, and any, Penske that looks like they're delivering for a company, anything you see them sitting anywhere that's like a popular hotspot, doing like Deer Park, Bay Shore, definitely love the help from you guys. You can reach out to me, anytime, and pretty much that's where I'm at with that right now, and because pretty much Kevin said everything that I was looking to do. So, food companies, ambulance, and and Penske. All right, that's it. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We're going to give you a list of all these places, and we're going to supply to the shops, so it's a list of these companies, these food service companies we're going to, and a flyer that you can give out. And we're going to highlight, you're going to see we're going to be highlighting the medical that we can offer to them. Next is the YRC bankruptcy. As you probably heard, that this is still going through the bankruptcy court. The big issue was the withdrawal liability that the YRC was trying to get out of. It's billions and billions of dollars, and they're trying to claim that, well, these funds don't have withdrawal liability because the SFA funds came through, and thus the funds are fully funded. Like right now, the notice, if you look at our notice, we're 116% funded in our pension fund now. And they're saying, well, there's no withdrawal liability, we shouldn't have to pay it. But specifically, when they gave that money under the American Rescue Plan Act, that special financial assistance specifically could not be used to discount the withdrawal liability owned by employers. So the bankruptcy judge ruled in our favor, which basically means that they still owe that money. So we're going after them. It's probably about $50 million to Local 707's pension fund that they own. Yeah, it's a substantial amount of money. It depends how you calculate it. So we want our money from them. We also want the money that they owe any of the former YRC employees for back vacation, personal days, sick days, back wages, any of those things, and of course the WARN Act claims. That WARN Act is the Workers' I know the acronym, I don't know what it means specifically. If someone says it, I'll say, yeah, that's it. But, retraining, whatever. So, but anyway, they have to basically give you 50 days notice before they close an operation. They did not, obviously. The IBT is following up on those claims on everybody's behalf. So those are still in the bankruptcy court. The good thing is if you took the pension liabilities out, the withdrawal liabilities, the sale of their assets, whether it be the trucks, the trailers, and their facilities, exceeds the amount of money that they owe to the government, which they paid right away, and to others. So we believe that these are priority claims, and they'll be moved up ahead. Obviously, the vacation, sick, and personal days that are owed to you would obviously be paid before anything else, as would be the warrant claim. So we have a belief that there's going to be substantial amount of repayment to people for those claims, as opposed to the CF. Anyone that worked for CF, you're showing your age if you did, where it took many years to even get pennies on the dollar for whatever was owed to you. We think you're going to get a substantial reimbursement for what's owed for you for the warrant claims and any of the paid time off. As I said, the IBT is representing everybody. You don't have to do anything. They have records of everybody that worked there, and they're all being put in accordingly. So with that, Todd, you guys on a time frame? Did you want to talk? I was going to do my bylaw vote. If you wanted to.
I'll be real quick.
Okay, why don't you come up? So we're going to bring up Todd Miller and Mike Walker. Todd is one of the principals at Miller and Caggiano, and they're going to talk about some of the changes that are going on in the workers' comp. I'd like to keep you guys updated and let you know what they can do for them. So come on up here, Mike and Todd.
So my name, thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it, guys. My name's Todd Miller from Miller and Caggiano. My law firm does workers' compensation, Social Security, disability, personal injury. We're doing VA disability claims now too. And that's we're here to help you, your family, your friends. I will, if you guys want to take your phones out now and put my cell phone in there, the cards are back there with the office number, but my cell phone is 63137. Here, take your phone out.
And he answers it when you call.
Yeah. The card has the office number. I don't think the cell's on it. So you get me on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. I'd suggest taking it down. It's 631-375-6451.
I'll make sure all the shops go have that.
Okay. So now, the thing with the workers' compensation and what's going on, and Anthony's going through it right now, it's a process that sucks. Workers' compensation system sucks. We're finding, because we're doing a lot more with Teamsters, the players in the games are the lowest law firm, horrible defense firm. They have no feelings whatsoever for you guys. They'll do anything to fight these claims for these employers. You need someone in your corner. I'm not saying you have to use us, but get someone in your corner. Anthony can attest to what he's going through right now. Extreme pain, trying to get authorization for treatment, testing. The guy's working, and he probably shouldn't be working. So it's a tough process to be involved in. It's something that you need someone in your corner to help you. That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys. We're here for your friends. We're here for your family. If you need us, reach out. Mike.
Yeah, I think Todd gave everything you had to know about the workers' comp side of it. In addition to that, as he mentioned, that law firm is terrible. They've been putting surveillance on everybody from day one who gets hurt, trying to muddy the waters, trying to drag your name, make it look like you're committing fraud. I did a trial defending one of your members a couple of months ago who was walking his dogs, and they said he has a knee injury. He was a dock worker. If he can walk his dogs, he could work as a dock worker. The judge threw it out and they appealed. They dragged it out for a year. So you definitely want an advocate in your corner who can give you the heads up, let you know what you're up against and help you get the medical treatment you deserve. As Todd touched on, we are now doing disability compensation for veterans as well. It's something we're proud to offer now. It's a practice area we're trying to grow for a lot of our members and clients. Todd and I are both veterans accredited attorneys. So if any of you are veterans, first, thank you for your service. And give us a call. We can help you with your disability compensation claim, whether it's been filed already and seeking an increased rating, you have a denied condition, or with the initial application. All right, so You have Todd's number. My number is 631-804-7894. You can call or text me anytime. I know some of you have it. Thanks for having us as always. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. If there's any questions or things that you want us to touch upon with workers' compensation, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to talk about it briefly now. But again, you do have my cell phone number, and if you have personal questions, call, ask me. I'm there to answer those questions for you, okay? Anthony?
ABF cut my benefits from the $1,039 a week back at the end of March, and they paid me $150 a week until August 1st. And you guys got it back from me, but they were paying me $150 a week for 5 months.
And this is what they do.
For no reason,
Yeah.
and people were asking my wife if we were divorced, because I never left my condo. I left to go to the doctor. I don't know what they did that for.
Yeah, this is, ABF is horrible. We've had other members come in who fell off the back of a gate of the truck, significantly injured, dragged themselves into the truck to go work the rest of the day, and they fought the claim. They fought the claim in the beginning because they know they can. They know they're going to lose. They know they're going to have to pay him the amount they have to pay him. They're making it difficult for you. So it's, again, it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be my firm. Get someone involved from the beginning, because they are going to use it against you. They do it every day. You guys don't. All right?
Todd,
Yeah.
that driver fractured his hip and spent 2 days in a hospital, and they didn't pay him a dime.
Controverted the claim. Fought that claim like he was in the back of the truck with it closed, picked up a box and said, "I hurt my back." This is what happened to that guy. It's horrible.
Called him a fraud.
Yeah.
2 days in a hospital.
And I'm calling that law firm. I'm alleging fraud against them because they can't do that either. They'll get in trouble too. But they don't care. Every case is controverted, and every case they're doing surveillance on from day one. So it's tough for you guys out there, especially with ABF. It's horrible. Yeah. Well, they're not saving money. What they're doing is trying to prevent people from filing and making you scared to file. That's what they're doing. Because ultimately we will win, and we did with him, but he's sitting there.
It's a scare tactic.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, enjoy the weekend. Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Mike, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I also want to thank Todd and Greg for their support of our scholarship fund, and they have been for the last few years. They sponsor a luncheon in July that our members appreciation luncheon so thank you for your support, and more importantly, by having somebody that I can go to and say, well, who's your attorney? We're out on this and that. I can call Todd, I can call Greg or Mike or anybody else or Zach, or whoever's on the case, to find out what's going on, so I can help the members on the union side as well. So that connection is very good. And I don't remember anybody else that we said, hey, these are good people that you should be looking at to represent you, that give you their cell phone numbers, and Todd doesn't just work there, he's one of the partners in there. So, but him and Greg and everybody else answers the phone when you call. And so thank you for the work that you do representing our members. And when there's any questions, please see them, after the meetings, or you have his cell phone number now. So, all right, very good. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Okay. And thanks for the swag back there. Yes.
Just want clarification.
Sure.
You mentioned that the One Act was that throughout the country? I know California and New Jersey has a stronger One Act
Yes.
law. But this was in all the states that they won the One Act.
It is specific to each one of the municipalities that those terminals are located in. So if California has a stronger one than New York, and anybody else, they're looking specifically at where those are, and they're representing your rights on the state level and on the Federal Warrant Act. Okay.
And with the liabilities, with the pension, is there gonna be money left for, I know nothing's gonna be done until January when the bankruptcy is supposed to be over with, after something like 112 more terminals get sold.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be money left,
Yeah, I think there'll be some money left. I mean, there's no way that there is, and I forget the number off the top of my head. It's in billions. There's not gonna be billions of dollars left over. So everybody will be taking a haircut on one, but I think there'll be some money left for withdrawal liability. It's more money that we ever thought we'd ever get from YRC.
And this is including, I mean, they're taking account what the lawyers are gonna,
Yes.
Okay.
Lawyers always get paid. That's,
I know
my
that.
lawyer tells me that. There's silver lining in every cloud. The lawyers always get paid.
I didn't know if that was included.
And they always write that in there. They get paid first, you know. But no, they get a portion of whatever, so.
And administrators.
Yeah, and we're paying actually right now a law firm with a group of different pension funds to represent us in the claim that Yellow's making that they don't owe any of that withdrawal liability. So we're paying right now as we speak, you know, so. Yes, yeah.
I got a pension question.
Sure.
I noticed on the website where I can put my social security number in, it would give me how many years.
Yes.
I don't see that formula anymore. It's still on there somewhere?
Yeah, it's still on there.
Yeah, for some reason, I paid it one time, I put my numbers in, and they tell me how many pension years.
Yeah, you can still do it.
About how much I'm gonna get.
Yeah, I don't have the exact steps. I haven't done it in a while. I couldn't.
I couldn't find it. It's on there though.
It is on there, and I'll make sure that it's, we'll do a posting on the jobs that are covered under our pension fund, so it'll show the step-by-step how to do it. I'll make sure we do that. All right?
Because that's it, you know.
Yep.
Close.
Write that down. It depends.
It was 115, but he said.
No, it hasn't been 115 in a while. It's, it is based on, that was the old days prior to 2008. We went to a percentage of calculations, all right? And depending on how many hours that you worked. Now, they contribute, overtime hours doesn't count. They pay in maximum of 8 hours per day, but if you work a 6th day or a 7th day, they do make a contribution on your behalf into the welfare and the pension fund. So people, depending on how much you work, is the amount of your pension credit for each one of those years. Okay. That's correct. They're paying on any paid time off you get paid for, you know. But if you,
What is it though? What is it?
it all depends. It's a very complex formula, and we're looking to change. Probably, if I had to guess, if you were working 2,000 hours, which is pretty close to, your pension credit will probably be about 107, 108, something like that. And then for the ABF members in the pension fund, we are looking to use, because you can't use under the SFA, this Special Financial Assistance, you cannot use you can't retroactively or raise benefits, only on new contributions. So we have new contributions that came in under the last agreement that we're going to use, and we can give that a higher percentage. Okay, like right now, the number is a little over 50%, or about half a percent of the amount of hours that you. So you take. Here's what you do. So you take the contribution rate. It's about $11 and change right now. You times it by the amount of hours, and then you times it by point. I'm guessing, because I don't have it in front of me, 0.50 or something, and that's what your pension credit is for that year, right? We can change any new money coming in. We can segregate that and say for the year 2025, any new money, and say it's like 60 cents or 70 cents, we can treat that 60 or 70 cents differently. We can give you like a 1.5% on that. So I'll do the math on it. We're waiting for it to be formally approved at this next meeting, and then we'll do all of the calculations in a way that we can all understand it.
We still got the 13 check?
Yes.
They're still getting it?
Yes, so it was one of those benefits that we never reduced because it was put in as a permanent benefit. And we're one of the few unions, pension funds, that didn't reduce the early out pensions, okay? Central States, anybody else, it's a 65. You got to work till you're 65, okay? You still have the 25 years at 57 here. You still have 30 years at any age here. We never reduced that.
When's that 13 check coming?
It comes December 15th. You're waiting for one or what?
Well, yeah, I'm getting close.
All right. December 15th, you get it right for Christmas time. And it's direct deposit, so it's not like you can grab the check out of the mail, you know what I mean? And so it's Yeah, so she's gonna know about it now, you know? Yeah. So, okay. So with that, we're gonna go into the, I'm gonna skip the bylaw amendment vote. We'll do that right at the end. ABF contract books, I know they kept promising, and I kept promising. We spoke yesterday with them. We already paid for them. They didn't even cash a check. They wanted my credit card. So back in July, we paid for these, all right? And they are printed and are being binded and folded and binded. And so, and the expectation date on that is?
It was supposed to be the end of this month.
By the end of this month. Okay, so you know what we know, and that was as of yesterday. Because I knew someone was gonna ask me that question today. I'm going, when the hell the ABF contract book? The end of this month, we'll have them. Yeah. So you know what it is? It's not that easy because here's the problem. There's just in the eastern region, there is 15 different supplements. So we have the New Jersey, New York supplement, which is different than, what they do in the upstate New York plan, what they do in Maryland, DC, and all these others in the bi-state, in the Carolinas, central Pennsylvania. They're all different. So it's not like it's one, T-Force is one contract. There's no difference. It's easy. We get those differently, but you have to look what we negotiated. We got to proofread it, so probably 25 different committees have to review it. The employer's got to look at it. We have to look at it and get all the fine tuning. So it takes really a lot of time, and they're printed up, like for us, 250, 300 copies of a contract now. So they got to do that. 200 here, 150 there. So it's a complicated process. That's why it takes so long. So, and we want to get it right. So when we give you the book, we want to say, hey, it's right. So, all right. New business contracts recently ratified with the Carlo Foods, and that's one of the reasons why we're going after these other food companies and say, hey, we represent the workers at the Carlo, which is pretty big, and we can say this is what we do for them, this is what we can do for you. Manhattan College, we represent the workers at Manhattan College, which is actually in the Bronx, that are contracted with Aramark to provide custodial services. We've had them for a long time. And contracts that are being negotiated are Hudson News, and Hudson News delivers all the newspapers, and not newspapers, all the magazines on Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens. They recently closed their facility on Long Island and moved their whole operations to Jersey. But anyway, that moved over, we still represent those workers even though they're in Jersey and cohabiting with Local 560 over there. The old days, we used to have 120 members at what was called then MDI, Magazine Distributors Incorporated. And what do we have now? 5, 6? Yeah, no one's getting magazines. No one reads the paper anymore. They get it on their phone, and so that whole world changed, and so it's been a real big difference. One of those industries.
You heard of National DCP, right? They do all the Dunkin' Donuts. I think they have a place in Farmingdale. I don't believe they're doing. I know it's a big, but maybe.
Yeah, we can look at it. I know Local 25 got into a real big organizing drive with them. They're tough. It's one of the ones we can look at. Johnny, you make note of that, please.
National DCP.
National.
They do all the distribution for Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. And where are they located? Farmingdale now?
I believe they got a spot in Farmingdale.
Okay.
I don't know if it's over there where it's off of 109.
I do know. Allen Boulevard, that area?
C starts with an S. Right on the back street of 110.
Sebro?
Sebro.
Yeah.
Used to be, they used to do the distributions of Burger King. I think they're in there somewhere.
Okay, we know where it is.
I think they moved into there.
All right, we'll track them down. Yeah, Sebro, John.
They're big. They're all over the country. They're pretty big.
Yep, I know. So they're hard to crack, but we'll see what we can do. Anthony?
There's a very big ice cream and dry ice distributor right next to the Carlo. You might want to look at them, county-wide.
Okay.
Right next door to the left.
Okay, good. We're gonna have a more refined list next time we meet. And we're gonna have we're gonna do more of these, and we're gonna talk about a few committees I wanna form, and I'm gonna ask whether it be the shop stewards or the rank and file members that want to get involved, and like in these organizing committees, and some other ones that I'm gonna talk about in a few minutes. So Another note, Global Election Services, I know everyone was on the edge of their seats. We had our nominations meeting on Thursday, September 5th, and Jackson Lees was there to supervise, to make sure everything went right. And there was no other nominations for any one of the offices received other than the ones that were for the current executive board. So we recently received a certification that only one candidate was nominated for each position, and each candidate accepted a nomination. A mail ballot election is not required, and the candidates listed below, which is existing, the current executive board, were elected by acclamation. So we have three more years of this executive board. So thank you for your support, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. I noticed that.
One person.
Frank appreciates it. So I know Frank a long time when he worked for APA, and we came to their rescue when they were, yes, absolutely. You know, too bad we couldn't rescue the company. Too bad they were more interested in the ferries than they were in the freight business. So we talked about that IBT presidential endorsement. It's probably in big news. General President Sean O'Brien, after the poll came out, and everyone should have received in the magazine and a postcard, a way for you to be able to register your vote. You know, you could go in and scan the QR code and vote for for who you wanted, whether it be Harris or Trump. And it came back overwhelmingly for Trump, 69.4%. You saw that our General President spoke at the Republican National Convention. It kind of took a neutral stance on there, but he didn't take a neutral stance on representing the members or going after big businesses for their anti-union tactics. But he made it clear that the Teamsters were going to be independent and they were going to support those who support them. And he came out and they just said no endorsement. And people said, well, it was 70%, almost 70% one way, because it's very difficult to come out. The last time the Teamsters endorsed a Republican candidate was Ronald Reagan. So it's very difficult, very complex, especially in the world that they live in, where all the other big unions, a lot of pressure on them to support the Democrats, you know. So that was very big for him to do that. And since then, he's taken a very hard stance against the Democrats. I mean, he was on a podcast recently, you may have heard about it, and he basically said, we're not being taken for granted. We gave millions and millions of dollars to the Democrats and $300,000 to Republicans. He's going, and this is going to be about, from now on, it's going to be about who is going to help us. And so he's taking a different look at it. And I can tell you, I've known Sean O'Brien a very long time. I met him 25 years ago or so when he was the driver instructor for Local 25 in Boston. And but right then you could see this guy was a go-getter. He was out there. Eventually became the business agent and then the principal officer for Local 25. And he would invite, and then he became the president of the Joint Council. He would invite me up to New England Joint Council meetings, and I had a good relationship with a lot of people in New England through the freight industry, and he'd let me speak and talk about as someone being Teamster officials involved in government. And he'd always introduce me as, hey, he's the only Republican I like. I don't really want to bring him up here. And he would bash me for being a Republican, you know. And then and every time I'd get up there, I go, thank you for that warm introduction, Sean. And I always say, but you know, let me remind you about something. It is not about the letter that's after your name. It's how you treat working men and women. And he stole that line. If you saw that, he said that recently, and I can't wait to see him again to sit there and say, "You stole my line," when you would drag me through the mill and then say, "But he's not a bad guy," you know. But anyway, but they're taking a different look at how they're going to be representing, endorsing candidates and who they want to be their representatives in government. So
basically, we're not endorsing any party. Republicans or the Democrats.
That's correct. In the presidential election, there are other endorsements that they are making for other candidates locally. You know, and a lot of a guy like Mike Lawler, he spoke about him at the Republican convention. Nick Lilloda and Andrew. A lot of these guys, these local elected officials, people in Congress, are being endorsed by the Teamsters. So, but the presidential thing was big. Having no endorsement is like an endorsement. You know, so and there's follow-up conversations after that. So, anything else? Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear to my understanding. The poll, the results, was something like not even 1% of the membership voted on that poll, to my understanding. Am I correct on that?
On the straw,
straw poll.
Yeah, straw poll. So they threw the straw poll out.
Because it was so small.
It was so small, the sample size wasn't
Which is
sufficient.
one of the things, if you want change, you gotta get involved.
Yeah, so they sent, everyone should have gotten a postcard sent to the house with the QR code. It was in the magazine. I mean, if you didn't take the time to take a picture and do it, but they got enough of a sample size that they felt that was representative of what the people were thinking. And it shows if there's more people supporting Harris, they couldn't even bother voting. And you would have to think that that's going to be representative of what's going to happen on election day if people weren't going to get out and go to the polls. You know what I mean? They're not motivated to do it. I know there's a lot of, if you're a Trump supporter, you're going to the polls, you know? And the Harrises, you know, if they're not sure about it, they may not come to the polls. And that's going to be the difference is going to be turnout in elections.
A lot of people changing direction.
Yep.
A lot of people changing
Yeah.
direction because they're not happy with.
What's going on, they're starting to see it's not about glitz and glamour and talking points, and it's where the rubber meets the road.
I'm disgusted.
I know, it's where it meets the road. And sometimes you sit there and say,
Both parties, I'm disgusted.
sometimes you look at it and say, is this the best our country has to offer?
Horrible.
And so, anyway. Hope the residents of Suffolk County don't feel that way, or the members of Teamsters Local 707, so, anyway. So I want to talk about the formation of two, maybe three committees, and the first is a scholarship committee. As you said at the last meeting, we didn't even get enough people to apply for the scholarship fund. We have over $300,000 in our scholarship fund. The money, we're generating money and interest income and things like that. I want to form a committee, and I'm going to reach out to some of the stewards or anyone that's involved and say, look, do you want to serve on this committee? We'll bring them together, and we'll have a nice little meeting somewhere, and we'll figure out how to do it, whether it be a breakfast meeting or sometime we have time to sit down and relax and talk about it. And we're going to go in and talk about how we can have more outreach, looking at what our assets are. Can we give more money to the scholarship fund? We had to the recipients. We haven't changed that in a long time. We went to the grandchildren of retirees. We give out gift certificates. You don't even have to apply. We're going to give you $1,000 computer gift certificate. Every kid going to school needs a new laptop, right? And we weren't even getting it. So the problem is maybe our outreach isn't good. So we're going to reach out to our members, try and get some input from the members, sit there and talk to people and have them have that on that committee, help us get involved in supporting the 50/50s that we raised to use money to support this. But we have money available out there to do that, and we want to make sure this continues long into the future and make sure we're utilizing the assets in a way that the members can appreciate. So we'll figure out a way to do that, because the world is changing. Just for instance, a lot of time we used to do it based on SAT scores. It was clean, it was easy. You know, you line up the SAT scores. Not everybody's taking SAT and it was a test anymore. So we got to look at a lot of different things. So we're going to be reaching out to that. Another very important thing, we're going to do the form this year, in 2025, Local 707 turns 75 years old. When it turned 50, 25 years ago, not showing my age, but I was there for that. So we're going to form a 75th anniversary committee that we're going to ask people to serve on. And last time we made a very big deal about it. The general president came, I'm sure he would this time, and all the different local unions and all the members, and we make it a way that it's affordable for members to attend that and be able to have a lot of people that want to get involved and help us celebrate our 75th anniversary. We're going to want some members' input on that. So that's one of the committees we're going to ask people to serve on. And the other one is an organizing committee. We need to make sure that we're doing a proper outreach to the membership so they can help us reach out to these members. We're not doing it in the silo, and and the more we get members involved in this, the more results, the better results that we're going to get from our efforts. So those three committees we're going to be reaching out to people to help us on. So with that, we're going to do, I'm going to just go through these other stuff under on the good and welfare, yes. Electronic EOBs, please sign up for them. If you're tired of getting the mail, you never open, we're tired of sending it to you. You can sign up on our website for electronic EOBs. That's the explanation of benefits you get in the mail. Anytime you go to a doctor, you're supposed to look at it, make sure that the services they charge us for, the services that were provided to you. But it's easy if you go in electronically, you go in once in a while, look up, yep, that's good, as opposed to us having to send aid for each one of those visits to you. You're tired of getting in the mail as well as we are sending it to you. Also, we still get hung up on this. I hate to say it every time, but notifying about a pending divorce. We still have guys that are getting jammed up because, and women that are getting jammed up because they fail to tell us about a divorce and the spouse continues to use those benefits. And we eventually find out about it and you're on the hook for it. And a lot of times the members don't even know that they forgot to notify the fund. And sometimes when a divorce goes through, it's not always a good situation. But they're eventually, not the spouse, is responsible for those payments. So it makes it even harder than it needs to be. And then we talked about the First Blue Shield, and I am going to get to you the updates. We're going to post them on the jobs, how you can look at the calculations for your pension, so you have a general idea about what your benefits are going to be. And I think that's all we did. Do we have any veterans here that we did not already give a veterans pin to, that we didn't recognize? Okay, and we just have Jason after. Just come see John afterwards for a little briefing here, and we'll give you wave the magic wand on that. And then that's all we have. And before we adjourn, we're going to do the bylaw amendment, which will allow us to not have to count people in the parking lot. It's been read at January, February, March, January, April, and July meeting. And so this is going to be the bylaw amendment that we're going to vote on. It is to amend Article 15, Section 2 of the Local 707 bylaws. And the regular membership meeting shall be held during the months of January, April, July, and October. And the change will be from the previous quorum was 25 members, be changed to 15 members, shall constitute a quorum. Any questions about the bylaw vote? All right. Generally, I wasn't able to get an answer whether we can do that by a voice vote, but we're going to do it by written ballot. So we're going to just, how are we going to do this? You have them?
I would say have them come up here and get it.
Have them come over there
Box in the back.
and bring the box up here, have them sign off on here, make sure you get plenty of Miller and Caggiano pens that they can use, and we'll put the box over here, and everybody come over here so people can vote in secret. So so everybody understands what you're voting on? Yes is to approve that bylaw amendment, so we appreciate that. So we're gonna put the ballot box over there, so we're gonna give you a, you have the sheet. So you sit there, you give them a ballot based on who signed in, check off the name.
Do you want to use the sealing sheet like we normally do?
No, I already have them.
No, this is the timestamp with the seal. The seal. I brought it just in case.
If your father, tell your father we did it, okay?
I use this.
So get the sign-in sheets. Can we get the sign? Anthony, get those sign-in sheets so we can check them off. Just make sure they check your name off before.
Okay.
Laura, please. Laura, please. But they're not going to do it.
I'm close.
And it's going to be...
Yeah, I'd like to find find out, I'll talk to Laura what day you guys want to come, because I think Jonathan should be involved in this. He's the full-time.
All right, we'll figure
He's
it
a
out.
little quieter.
All right, I'll get with Laura and find out.
All right, yeah.
What days are you there?
I'm there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's there with me only on Saturday.
Saturday only, right?
Yeah, together with me, or else
Okay.
he's there.
I got it. All right, you're welcome. Yeah, you gotta just check the name off. She's never gonna add up, Laura.
You're gonna put that in the website so we can find it, right?
I'm gonna have it, check it out. Yeah, check your name off. She's never gonna add up, Laura. Did you check your name off? No. Yeah.
I gotta put my name on it too?
Are we doing it too or no?
Yeah.
Do you want one? Jonathan, did you check it in?
You know, I was thinking, during the weekend, I was saying, like, oh, I hope she doesn't think that I'm not buying bread because. No, I'm just saying, but like this, the doctor said, all right, cut down on bread. So, oh, okay.
Cut the cost.
I mean, I see you, I say hello, and then all of a sudden I walk away. All right.
How you doing, all right?
Management up there, break your chops as much as they used to. Like we used to get the chops all the time. Now,
Tuesday.
bring whatever I got.
What's that?
I'll bring whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you, one day I'm gonna go in my office and I'm gonna email you all the things that we need to talk about in terms of the grievances. All right?
She called me up and said you had five grievances?
I think there's 5.
I think we only got 3 left. What 5 are we talking about? Fabian?
We have Fabian,
We got the equipment.
cottage, the equipment, start times, and the
Any start time?
when they brought the start times back, when they gave the cottage away. I'll go over it. I can't remember the top of my head. And we have the DOT physicals. The DOT physicals. Not being paid.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, I'm gonna send you everything. Just say, make sure we're on the same page.
I'll let you know what I'm settled. A couple times.
They said they got paid, but it's the whole process. We gotta make sure that, you know. No, I haven't been able to look at it. It's not in the contract. Yeah, but you didn't check it off. All right, did everybody vote? Everybody voted? Yep, okay. Did everybody sign in that voted? You did, okay.
Jose didn't vote.
Yes, right now. All right.
There we go.
All right, open that up there. Can we have a, hi, come on up here and be our observer here. Everybody vote?
Everybody checked off?
Everybody's checked off.
Chuck, how many people you have signed in there? And I'll give anyone $50 and I'll stick to 10. I'll give you $100. How many you have?
29.
With the shop stewards?
Yeah, 29 altogether.
Like oil there.
36, 37.
How many you got?
29 altogether.
Count them out.
What's that? Oh, so the count? Yeah.
You got it? Yeah. I just got a witness. All right, everybody. All right, we have the official results. We had on the question of whether or not to change our quorum from 25 to 15, 29 people voted, and 29 people voted in favor of changing the quorum to 15. So thank you, everybody, for coming out, and all I need is a motion to adjourn. Motion, second, all in favor, opposed? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming. We'll see you in January. Remember, we're going to reach out to you guys about serving on these committees. Thank you very much. Thank you, Todd Miller and Mike Walker.
Well, they need to go together. So I can take